You ready?
And action.
Hello. What I'm about to say to you, I said for the first time on August 31st, 1994. The meeting was intended and expected to be about things such as compliance, reviewing legal requirements, how we're doing, what we have to do to keep our skirts clean, and so forth. It turned out to be much more. What if Interface became the first industrial company in the world to achieve sustainability? Imagine the favorable reaction of the marketplace, not to mention the example we would set. Well, here we are 15 years down the pike, and I think the thing that I am most proud of is the buy-in of our people. I know that they weren't expecting anything like what I said to them. They were probably thinking about compliance and how do we keep our skirts clean and can we put some nice green ribbons on what we're doing and maybe get some nice ads. But I really don't know what people were thinking. I do believe that they were stunned by what I had to say and the way I challenged them to lead our company to this mystical place called sustainability, which nobody knew the meaning of at the time. I have this mental image of a mountain to climb, a mountain that's taller than Everest and infinitely more difficult to scale. The name of the mountain is sustainability, and we are only on the lowest slopes of this mountain, but we know the way to the top. I spoke out to our people at every opportunity, plant meetings, sales meetings, and truly it's been one mind at a time. And that is an amazing fact that one mind at a time, 3,000 people have bought into a vision and internalized it into their own way of thinking and carried it home and into the community as well. That is really, really gratifying. And then you look at the results that kind of commitment has produced. We're 60% of the way to the top of that mountain. And about 60% of the timeline has elapsed, too, from 1994 to 2020. Mission Zero, as impossible as it seemed, is within sight. We can see our way clear to the top of the mountain. The technologies are there or they're coming, and we can see how that can happen. So the example is still shaping up for the industrial world. I think I'm also very, very proud that the business case for sustainability has emerged very clearly. We know at Interface our costs are down, not up. So that dispels a myth and exposes a false choice between the environment and the economy. Not so. You can do both and. Our products, but through the inspiration of biomimicry and the wellspring of innovation that has come out of the idea of sustainable design, the lens of sustainable design, has made our products better than ever. And then, as I've said so many times, the goodwill of the marketplace is astonishing. There is no amount of slick advertising at any cost that we could have done that would have created the goodwill that this effort has created. I mean, you're talking about authenticity at its very, very best. This is a better way to make a bigger profit, and a more legitimate one at that, and it's coming not at the expense of future generations and not at the expense of the earth. Ultimately, there's no doubt that at some point I have to slow down. Someday. I have to be thinking ahead to that day when I can no longer do this. But in the meantime, we have this thing called RAISE that is the consulting arm of the company that we created to respond when other companies ask us, how you do this? And a wonderful anecdote around that. One of Jim Hartsfeld, who runs RAISE, one of his first clients was a big multinational food company that sent 15 people to LaGrange, Georgia, top management people, one woman in the group. and she was head of global engineering. This woman did not want to be there. She did not understand why they would come to a carpet mill in Georgia, of all places, of all things, to learn about sustainability. What could they possibly learn from us? So she didn't want to be there, and she's skeptical about the whole thing. So the first half of the morning that they're together, she's obstructive and challenging everything. And then the mid-morning break comes, and to get to the ladies' room, she has to actually go through the factory. They're in this conference room out in the factory. So on her way to the ladies' room or back, I don't know who it, she encounters James Wisner, fork truck driver, on the factory floor with this big roll of carpet on this fork truck. And she stops him, and she says, "What do you do here?" Sort of in that tone of voice. And James, bless his heart, says, "Ma'am, I come to work every day to help save the earth." She was just stunned by that. So she started drawing him out. You know, what do you mean, da-da-da-da-da. And finally, after a couple of minutes of it, he says, "Ma'am, I don't want to be rude, but if I don't get this roll of carpet to that machine in the next minute, our waste and emissions are going out of control. I've got to go." She came back to that meeting a visibly different person. She sat there very quietly, in total contrast the way she had been before. And then after a while, she started challenging her people. "Why aren't we doing this? Why aren't we doing that?" And then she told the story of her encounter on the factory floor. And she said, "I've never seen anything like it," to demonstrate the alignment in a company from the very top of an organization clear to the factory floor. She says, "There's only one word I can think of that describes it, and it is love." Love on the factory floor. As we re-examine the progress we've made in retrospect, looking back, you can see things that you didn't see so clearly looking forward, before the fact. But one of the things that's really clear is that you unleash the creativity of an organization when you hold up a vision that is so outrageous that it takes the breath away. When people are gasping, "What did he say?" And when the vision is that ambitious, it's taken us places we never would have dreamed of. We've just begun. But remember the Chinese proverb, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step." I'll see you along the way, and we'll do this together because it's the right thing to do.